Here we go.
Hi, Sheldon. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, I gotcha.
Great. Thank you for talking with us for a little bit here this afternoon. We'll go right into questions for you, and we will start with Bob Pockris. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Sheldon, I'm not having your regular crew chief for Bristol. Is that a bigger deal than maybe at other places? I mean, I know being in communication with the guys, but with the number of pit stops and potential adjustments there, is that a bigger deal?
Um, I don't really think so. I think the penalty is more of a pain in the butt more than anything. But this happened to Jeff and I a few times now. But it won't be nothing that I don't think we can handle.
And list your engineer as the crew chief, Sam. Have you worked with him before, or like do you confident with him at top of the box?
Yeah, Sam's super good. Um, I think obviously our crew chiefs, but we actually deal with our engineers a lot for setup. So um, me and Sam are super, close and good buddies. So I think Sam will do a great job.
Thank
All right, we will go next to Luke and Glover. Go ahead.
Hey Sheldon, thanks for taking the time today. Obviously, the focus going into the playoffs as we head to Bristol, but looking towards the next season and kind of the big picture for your career, have you had talks of what you're doing in 2024? Do you know exactly, do you have a lead on what your future will look like?
Yeah, I mean I haven't signed anything yet, but I would expect it to be something very similar to what you see now.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Matt Weaver. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey Sheldon, thanks for taking some time today. I'm curious, making your Cup debut, next gen car, obviously it's a completely different platform. How do you think the day went, the experience, and just kind of learning just a very different car?
Um, yeah, it was an experience for sure. I had like 20 laps of practice or whatever it was, and then one lap of qualifying to kind of figure the car out. So first start of the race was uh not great, but I thought I got better at it all day. I didn't realize like Xfinity and trucks, there's a lot of give and take. Like if someone catches you and you're struggling, or if you catch somebody, usually, it's pretty easy to get by just because the air is not nearly as bad in the Xfinity car and you can at least get there. And you usually save time with the guy in front of you and yourself if you guys just swap positions fast and go on with your day. Um, I was catching some of these guys for 31st, 32nd. As soon as you get to them, they're blocking you. So, yeah, that was a change. They race really hard throughout the whole pack, and the dirty air is really bad in the Cup car.
And then kind of to that point, the Xfinity Series platform right now is something that drivers seem to universally love. They love racing this car. And I'm curious, as a guy that's driven now the Cup car and trucks and just multiple platforms, what do you think about the current state of the Xfinity Series?
Um, After driving them all, the Xfinity car is the funnest to drive. I think everyone would agree with that. There is a fun aspect to the Cup car because it is super hard to drive and it's pretty sketchy and just does odd things. I'm sure as you drive it more, it gets a lot better. But there's a fun aspect to that because it is so hard and it is the Cup Series. So I think it should be the hardest car to drive. Um, I would love to see the Cup car with more horsepower. Because when I was driving it, it just you like can't spin the tires ever. Where the Xfinity car, you're always pedaling it. So I hope the Xfinity platform doesn't change. I hope we don't go like high down force or anything silly like that. Um, and I just hope they, you know, keep it around.
Thank you.
All right, we will go next to Rob Tiongson.
Thanks, Samantha. Thanks for joining us today, Sheldon. A couple of questions for you. Having won a championship in the past in the Truck Series, How much of that experience can you parlay over to your latest efforts to go and win the NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship? And just out of curiosity, what are some of the great principles and traits of Richard Childress Racing that you feel has made you a better person and a race car driver?
Well, you got a tough three-parter here. To start, I feel like, the playoffs first is going to be survive. Obviously, someone out of us 12 is going to have a bad weekend or something's going to happen. So, survival, finishing all these next 7, these next 6, and trying to, stage point all the stages and for us, I'm just going to try to be on offense and try to put the pressure on the other guys. Because we're not, I don't have a win yet or nothing, but if we can come and just point good and have fast race cars, it's going to put the pressure on the other guys. But as far as RCR goes, it's been a great, almost 2 years now. It's super family oriented, which is really good for myself, and I feel like my teammate Austin, we have a lot of the same values as RC and family and all that. So it's been a great fit for both of us.
Sounds good. Best of luck, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Mitchell Brewer. Go ahead, Mitchell.
Sheldon, you enter the playoffs on a nice stretch of finishes here. How big of a momentum builder is that for you as you begin the playoffs?
That's been huge for us. We came off a stretch there where we didn't finish on the top 10 for a few weeks. So, to put the last 4 or 5 weeks together like we have has been, I think, really big, more for the guys in the shop. They're getting confidence back in what they're doing with the car and in myself driving the car for them. So I think everyone's enjoying it more and obviously more excited to go to the racetrack. As much as anyone says they're not having fun, it's not fun when you go to the racetrack and you're tearing it up every week or not running good. So I think everyone's having more fun. Everyone's got more confidence in our situation, and I think we're ready to just kick it off here.
Thank you.
We'll take our next question from Nathan Solomon. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey, Sheldon, appreciate the time. Obviously your first time in the Xfinity playoffs. So how do you balance the expectations of it being your first time with also the competitiveness side of just kind of wanting to hammer down and think championship?
I don't know. I'm not really thinking about any of that. I'm thinking about how we're going to go and stage point and just run the best we can. And if we're not going to stage point, we need to finish, 11th or 12th these next, few races. So just focused on putting good days together.
And then as a follow-up, just how does these first 3 tracks in the round of 12 kind of shape up for you guys? Obviously, the playoffs look a little bit different than they have with the last couple of years with Talladega now out. So how do these first 3 races look for you?
This is a great playoff schedule, I think. Bristol, Texas, Roval, great racetracks, Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville. Honestly, can't ask for a much better playoff schedule, in my opinion.
Matt Weaver, did you have another question? All right, his hand must be up from earlier. All right, are there any final questions for Sheldon before we let him go? All right, Sheldon, thanks so much for your time and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.